good, guys? M.V.K here, back again. How's everybody doing on there? And welcome back to the Opinion Spot. Happy St. Patty's Day. Happy the Feast of St. Patrick. There's different names for it. Hope everybody's well. Hope everybody, to all my Irish American friends or pack members from the Emerald Isle that watch, happy St. Patrick's Day. Just wanted to get that out here. So what are we doing today on the Opinion Spot? Well, in honor of that, I thought I'd do a list for you. I thought I'd do a top 5 list for you guys. Now, I'm not wearing green, and there's a reason for that because it'll mess up the green screen, and you don't need to see that. But in general, guys, I thought in honor of St. Patrick's Day that I'd give you my top 5 favorite Irish characters in comics, or superheroes in comics. Now, there have been many members in the comic community that have Irish descent or are parents of Irish immigrants, and in general, that is their descent. They may be American, but they are still Irish in general. And I thought it'd be interesting to do that for you guys. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you guys will like this list. There are only 5 this time around. Only doing a 5 in honor of St. Patrick's Day. Here are my top 5 favorite Irish characters in comics. Let's get to it. So, number 1 on the list, of course, we're going to go with number 1. We have to go with the man himself, Steve Rogers, a.k.a. Captain America. Yes, guys, yes, let's be real and let's keep it real here. Yes, Steve Rogers is Irish. He's American, but he's Irish. He is born from 2 Irish immigrants that came from Ireland to America, Mary and Joseph Rogers. Steve gets his heart from his mother. That whole undying will to never give up and everything like that, he gets it from his mother. He didn't get it from his dad. His dad, and this is something that Disney was never going to do, but if you are an avid reader of Captain America, you know dang well that Steve Rogers' dad was an abusive drunk. He was a very abusive man that hit Steve and his mother. When he got drunk, he got abusive. And we saw where the indomitable spirit of Steve comes from. And it's been brought up many times in the comics, but I think a lot of people forget that and think, oh, they didn't know. But yes, Steve Rogers is Irish. I remember it was brought up recently again, and I like that it's brought up. I like that in the current comics, they bring it up a lot. But it is very interesting that America's one of the sentinel of liberty is actually an Irish American, and I respect that. I love Steve Rogers. I love Captain America. So yes, Captain America is number 1 on the list. Number 2 on the list has got to go to my number 2 all-time favorite Marvel character in comics. And if you don't know who that is, you better ask somebody in my pack, because I've gone on record many times to say this character, the man himself, the man without fear, Daredevil. Yes, once again, I think there's a lot of people that don't know that Daredevil is Irish American. He is Irish American descent, and it's not just because of his Catholic faith, but it's been brought up as many times in some cases, I believe, and correct me on this, my pack, the last name of Murdoch is a very Celtic Irish name, so correct me on that. But it's been brought up in few stories as well through Jack's story. I think it was also brought up in the miniseries that was about Matt's father, Jack. So, but in general, Daredevil is of Irish descent. That's cool. I love Daredevil, guys. Yeah, I love Daredevil. There's only one guy that comes before him. Y'all all know who that should be. But I love the man without fear. I love the fact that that's exactly what he is. He's the man without fear. And he has had a stable career in Marvel Comics. And people love him. More people now starting to really appreciate him more. But comic readers like myself, we always appreciated Matt. But I'm just saying, Matt Murdock makes number 2 on the list. Number 3 on the list we go to is a lady on the list. We go to the girl, the lady, the beauty, the Black Canary. Dinah Lance. Yes. Makes number 3 on the list. I am a huge fan of Dinah Lance, Drake, however you want to, there's different names. She is also, her mother was the first Canary, if you, depending on the timeline you think. But I love Black Canary. You know, I love the fact that she is not just her metahuman powers. This woman can fight. She legitimately has that Irish spirit in her. And I'm not trying to be stereotyped about like all Irish just fight. No, but she does have that fighting spirit, and we know she can kick your ass if she needs to. But when she needs to get nitty gritty then she lets that canary cry come out. But she does not rely on that alone. She is a great fighter. She is a hell of a woman, and she's one of my favorite DC females in general. Black Canary makes the list. Dinah Lance. Number 4 on the list we go to is Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern, the torchbearer, the last Lantern, if you want to look at it from that point of view, because he was the last Lantern when Hal went nuts. A lot of people forget he represents 2 cultures. He represents Spanish, Latino heritage, but he represents his Irish heritage. His father was Mexican. His mother is Irish. So he's Mexican-Irish, if you want to look at it from that point of view. Kyle Rayner is my favorite Green Lantern. And once again, guys, you should know this by now. You know, he comes before, I love him more than Hal, John, Guy Gardner, all of them. He is my favorite. And it boggles my mind that the company that he is under does not give him the same amount of respect that yours truly is giving him. But outside of that, Kyle is my favorite. I feel that he has just as much will as Hal, just as much creativity as John. This is the guy who was a White Lantern. Nobody else was the White Lantern. That belonged to Kyle. He has wielded all the spectrums, because that's what the White Lantern is. And yet, he still does not get enough respect or credit. But outside of that, he is a great character. And I wish DC did more with him, but what can I say? But Kyle makes my number 4 on the list. Number 5 on the list, we end the 5th with Who's It Gonna Be? Who's It Gonna Be? Who's It Gonna Be? And that goes to none other than Sean Cassidy, aka Banshee, the X-Men, the mutant. I have always had a lot of respect for Sean Cassidy. There are times he could be a jerk sometimes, but you know, Sean Banshee, he lives up to his name, like Canary and people like, you know, Black Bolt, Sonic Cry. And it kind of means a little bit more for Banshee. The only difference is he should be, in a sense, it should be a female. But, you know, his daughter did take up the name when he died. He's back now. And I do like his daughter Teresa as well, but you got to give Sean a lot of credit. Sean, he's a good character. He came around that time, 1975. He came out right when the whole lineup of the X-Men changed. So he's in that category with Wolverine, Storm, Colossus, Nightcrawler, Thunderbird. All those characters, Sunfire. He's in that class of X-Men when he first came out, and he lived up to it. Yeah, he has a cousin, Black Tom, and Black Tom is a mutant too, and it runs in the family in a sense. His cousin's a mutant, his daughter's a mutant, but at the end of the day, Sean has had his licks, but he's also had his highs, and I always respect him for that. We have seen him brought live action. I didn't really care for it because it was a kid, but I still give him a lot of credit for who he is. And there you have it. Those, ladies and gentlemen, are 5 Irish superhero characters in comics that I like. If you want to get technical, Sean is probably the only native Irish hero in the list, but it's like, to me, you have Irish descent, yeah, that's you. It's like and to me, it's like if you are half black and you mix with another race, doesn't matter. You're still black. That's the same thing. So give them a lot of credit. Now I could have went. There are others. There are other characters. There's Eric O'Grady, the third Ant-Man. I'm not a big fan of him because he's a pervert. Okay. Miguel O'Hare. Spider-Man from 2099. If I'd have made this a top 10, yeah, he would have been on the list. And even as stereotypical as she is, Marvel's Molly Fitzgerald, aka Shamrock, I would have given a little props to, but she has the most stereotypical powers, and she has the most stereotypical name, Shamrock. But in general, the characters that I picked, a lot of people love. And I know a lot of people will dig the list. And I hope you did dig the list. If you didn't, tell me why. You know what I've always wanted? And I'll say this too. You know what I always wanted from Marvel Comics or DC Comics, one of the big two to do, bring into their fold the hero of Ireland, Cú Chulainn. I would have loved this. I would love to see them build a comic character around that. You bring all these different gods in your universes, Marvel and DC. Why don't you bring Cú Chulainn? And why don't you maybe even bring Balor, the demon? That'd be, just saying. I know my Irish folklore, okay? I love that stuff. But in the meantime, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this list. Happy St. Patrick's Day once again. Have yourself a pint of Guinness. Don't drink too much. Be safe. Stay loose. Be safe. But have fun. And I'll catch you guys next time. And don't forget, guys, to subscribe, please. And shouts out to everybody who posted a request for the opinion spot. I am going to have fun because starting next month, I'm going to start incorporating everybody's request that left one. I think there's over 32. Everybody gets a chance, and I'm going to deliver. But in the meantime, guys, you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Deuces.